we would like to keep on our research, and this time we started with yellow mustard, which we can grow quite easily in Western Canada. And so getting land prepared for a yellow mustard, we noticed that we did no cultivation, we did no crop. We just let the land go bare or with no crop on for a year. And at the second year we noticed that there were canola plants growing throughout that 50 acres or approximately 25 hectares. We did testing on 12 plants and we found and used the glyphosate and Monsanto's glyphosate and found that the plants did not die. So we immediately contacted Monsanto because Monsanto had said through all the trial periods where we were in court that all you have to do if you think you have contamination by Monsanto, you should notify them and they'll come out and check it. So we notified Monsanto and they did indeed come out. They tested also the 12 plants we had put chemical on and many other plants. And the contamination was single seeds or single plants or clumps of plants. 2 days later he came back and notified us and said, yes indeed, those plants in your field are Monsanto's GMO canola plant. What do you want done with them? And we said we're trying to do experiments with the mustard. We want all the plants on the 50 or 25 hectares removed by hand because we didn't want no further contamination. Monsanto agreed to do that and they gave us that they would be here at our place within 2 days to remove the plants. The next day my wife gets a fax from Monsanto and said, we will be here in 2 days to remove the plants, but there was a paragraph blocked out. My wife said she's not going to sign no deal like that. She notified Monsanto and said she wants to know what's in the blocked out part of the contract. And in it, and so Monsanto replied and sent what was on the blank paragraph, and this is what it said. My wife or myself or any member of family could never ever take Monsanto to court again for the rest of our lives, and that we were never ever allowed to talk about what the terms of settlement was to Monsanto. That's really angered us, and we said we would never ever sign our right to free speech away to a corporation, and we will never ever sign the contract. Monsanto said if you don't sign, then replied back, if you don't sign the contract, we won't remove the plants. So we notified Monsanto and said we are going to remove the plants, and we were going to and we notified the day which we would be doing this. Monsanto sent really a nasty letter, fax back, and they said, we wish to remind you, Mr. and Mrs. Schmeiser, that those plants in your field, through patent law, they're our property, and you're not allowed to do anything with those plants. So that really angered us, and so we notified Monsanto again, said we are going to remove the plants, and with the help of our neighbors 3 days later, we notified Monsanto when we would do it, and we removed the plants. So we had said that we told Monsanto we never ever will sign our freedom of speech away. Too many people in our country gave their rights, their lives, so we would have freedom of speech, and we would never ever give our rights of freedom of speech away to a corporation. And that's why we refused to sign the contract. And as I said, we removed the plants, and eventually we burnt them. Now, about a year later, we decided who should pay for the cost of removing those plants. And we decided that Monsanto should, because they agreed it was their plants and they had contaminated us. And they had said in court that any green thing that is sprayed, any green plant that is sprayed with Monsanto's Roundup herbicide, it's their gene that's in that plant. So we decided it cost us approximately $640, which was not very much for what we paid our neighbors. And so we decided, all right, we'll send Monsanto the bill. Monsanto replied back, they won't pay the bill unless we sign that contract with the clauses they wanted in. So eventually we decided we're going to take Monsanto to court, and we did. And we took Monsanto to court at a small claims court, and the judge decided to hear it, and Monsanto ended up having to pay in court the $640 plus $20 cost for the contamination cleanup. That was a major victory. It wasn't the money, but it was the fact that it was a liability issue now. If you know you have a product that you put out into the environment and it contaminates a person's field, and you know that, and you go and keep doing it, you should be liable for the damages that you have